And I appreciated Mr. Holman and the ICE. We had a great relationship. We still do. But now ICE is the only law enforcement agency that cannot use our databases to find the bad guys. They cannot come in and talk to people in our jail unless they reach a certain threshold. They can't do all kinds of things that other law enforcement agencies can do. And it's really put us in a very bad position. It's a disgrace.
And we're suing on that, and we're working hard, and I think it'll all come together. Because people want it to come together. It's so ridiculous. The concept that we're even talking about it is so ridiculous. We'll take care of it, Margaret.
Thank you. There could be an MS13 gang member I know about. If they don't reach a certain threshold, I cannot tell ICE about them.
Yeah. We have people coming into the country or trying to come in. We're stopping a lot of them. But we're taking people out of the country. You wouldn't believe how bad these people are. These aren't people. These are animals. And we're taking them out of the country at a level and at a rate that's never happened before. And because of the weak laws, they come in fast. We get them, we release them, we get them again, we bring them out. It's crazy. The dumbest laws, as I said before, the dumbest laws on immigration in the world. So we're going to take care of it, Margaret. We'll get it done.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Donald Trump referring to MS13 as animals. As you heard in the clip I just played, he was not referring to all immigrants. He was not referring to simply illegal immigrants. He was referring to MS13, a very, very violent gang that originates from El Salvador, which has cells all over North America, Central America, maybe even South America. You see the headline over my left-hand shoulder. It says 11 animalistic crimes committed against Americans by MS13 gang. So not only am I telling you that MS13 are animals and they are a very dangerous gang, I'm going to explain to you why with specific examples. But before we get into that, let's talk about some of the press's reaction, or really overreaction, to what Donald Trump said, because they want to link him to just talking about all immigrants, all people that come here illegally, as animals. Let's start first with this guy, Will Wilkinson. He is a contributor or a writer, whatever it is, for New York Times, among other things. Check this tweet out. It says, but Trump was talking about MS13 is evil. Why did he talk about MS13? To identify immigrants with criminals. The point of him calling them animals is to identify immigrants with animals. But every member of MS13 is human. Every human has dignity that demands respect. So, okay, you want to just throw Trump under the bus, but you want to defend MS13? Now, I didn't think liberals would really get crazy like this, but we have reached peak SJW territory here. When you are defending very, very dangerous gangs that will kill you, Will, or anybody else without a moment's notice. It wouldn't even really be a thing. How are you going to defend them just to throw Trump under the bus? That's really crazy. But I'm going to move on to the next one here. And this is from Ana Navarro. She is a Nicaraguan-born woman that was raised in Miami. She's a contributor for Telemundo, CNN, and ABC. And you see the tweet right over my left-hand shoulder that says, Trump is in very bad company. Nazis referred to Jews as rats. Slave owners use slaves as subhuman animals. And then you see this NPR link that she posted. It says, Less Than Human, A Psychology of Cruelty, and so on and so forth. And then you have a tweet from her that came up during the campaign from Charles C.W. Cook, who says, should Donald Trump drop out of the race? Yes, he should drop out of the human race. He is an animal. Apologies to animals. So there you have it right there. I guess when she calls somebody an animal, it's okay, regardless of what's going on, just because you disagree with them. But when Donald Trump calls violent extremists animals who come here to kill Americans and kill other people who are here illegally, because let's not get it confused, MS13 and other violent gangs in Central America, who are they killing when they're in Central America? They're killing other Central Americans. So when you get people that come from Mexico, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Honduras, that come to the United States, many of them are trying to get away from that type of life. They don't want to have to look over their shoulder all the time to see if it's somebody from one of the cartels or gangs that's coming to get them or one of their family members or whatnot. So they don't want to come here and deal with the same thing. I think Ana Navarro, coming from Nicaragua, will understand that more than the average normie, but maybe she has her political affiliations tied in with her paycheck. So who knows? But I'm going to move on to the article here from Breitbart. And don't get triggered that it is on Breitbart. These are facts. You can look it up. Of course, it's all source. And shout out to my man John Bender for the article. But the article reads, when President Trump recently referred to MS-13 gang members as animals, the mainstream media, left-wing pundits, and Democrats were outraged by the statement. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi slammed Trump's attack on MS-13 gang members, saying, does he not believe in the spark of divinity, the dignity and worth of every person? So, look, Nancy Pelosi, you getting all poetic about gang members? Really? I mean, come on. I think even the average normie that's on the left will understand it doesn't make any sense. Even those that hate Trump would say that's just a ludicrous statement. Multiple media pundits, including the Washington Post, Jennifer Rubin, defended MS-13 gang members against Trump's animals remark, calling the statement disgusting and attacking evangelical Trump supporters. Similarly, the Associated Press was forced to apologize for falsely claiming that Trump was referring to illegal aliens when he made the animals remark. Yeah, like they put a retraction talking about, oh, we didn't know that he was talking about MS-13. AP has gotten very political and very anti-Trump, and it's really a shame because when I go to the Associated Press, I'm expecting a non-biased news source, one that calls it straight down the middle, one that does not editorialize and give their own personal opinion. I enjoy news that has a political slant, like Fox. I enjoy that. They have a right-wing slant, and that's fine because I'm on the right. So I appreciate stuff from that perspective, especially in the sea of things that all have left-wing slants. When you're talking about CNN, CBS, ABC, NBC, MSNBC, so on and so forth, et cetera, they all pretty much have left-wing slants, just varying degrees of it. So it's good to have something with a right-wing slant, but occasionally I want to have news that gives it to me straight with zero political spin. That would be the best way to go for, in my opinion, but obviously that's not how we live in the world, but I digress. Meanwhile, Trump and the White House press secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders defended the comment, as Breitbart News reported. And shout out to Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She had a pretty good remark about this during one of the, White House press conferences. I'll link to that in the box below if you want to check it out. Quote, when the MS-13 comes in, when the other gang members come into our country, I refer to them as animals. And guess what? I always will. Trump said at the White House on Thursday. Now, I don't see what's wrong with that. We're talking about people that victimize other people, innocent men, women, and children. I don't understand why calling them animals is a bad thing. I mean, what are you supposed to call these guys that hurt people? What do you really call them? Are you offended at the word animals? Or you like the guy who was talking about Trump saying he's trying to equate MS-13 with all immigrants? No, the context of the conversation, and I'll post that forward mark that I played earlier. I placed the full thing in the box below so you're able to check it out for yourself. Now, here are the top 11 ways that MS-13 are animals. MS-13 pimp ordered baseball bat beating of underage prostitute. Prosecutors in Montgomery County, Maryland, charged a known MS-13 leader for ordering the beating of a 15-year-old girl with a baseball bat who had been forced into prostitution. Two other Salvadorian nationals are also named in the case. Law enforcement officials said that Miguel Angel Nocturno Ayala Rivera, a 24-year-old MS-13 member who illegally entered the U.S. from El Salvador, ordered his fellow gang members to beat a 15-year-old girl with a baseball bat. Nocturno reportedly pimped out the victim along with other underage girls, Breitbart Texas reported. So, I mean, it's pretty clear. It's not just, drugs and it's a lot of human trafficking. They do a lot of different things. These gang members are not the kind of guys that you want to try to hit your wagon up to and ride on with their whole victimhood narrative. It doesn't make any sense. Number 2, MS13 gang beheaded victim cut out his heart, say Maryland police. A gang of 10 MS13 members brutally murdered a Maryland man by stabbing him more than 100 times, beheading and dismembering him, and cutting out his heart, Maryland detectives say. The victim has yet to be positively identified, and police are asking for help from the community. Court documents obtained by ABC 7 News in D.C. reveal that the brutal death of the ambush and murder allegedly carried out by an informant and 9 other MS-13 members. An informant? How do you have an informant being involved with a murder like that? Maybe they're undercover, I don't know, but I digress. The attack is believed to have been carried out by the gang in early spring this year, officers write in the statement of charges. Number 3, MS-13 gang members beat, stab New York teen girls to death. A number of MS-13 gang members, some of which are illegal immigrants, were indicted in federal court for their involvement in the slayings of 2 New York teenagers. Some 13 MS-13 gang members, 10 being illegal immigrants, were indicted for murder charges against Nisa Mickens and Kayla Cuevas, as well as 5 other individuals who were allegedly murdered by the criminal organization. New York attorney Robert Capers said that MS-13 gang members noticed the 2 teenage girls while they were looking for rival gang members to spar with. The gang members had previously known Cuevas from a past altercation and called their gang leader for approval to kill the girls. Capers told the media that the 2 girls were killed by MS-13 gang members swinging baseball bats and machetes at them, pointing out that both were running for their lives. Now, I'm going to do rapid fire right here because you kind of get the drift. MS-13 gang members beat Maryland woman to death. See you in hell, convicted female MS-13 gang member told victim. A female MS-13 gang member told her victim she would see you in hell before stabbing her 15-year-old victim 13 times. The now convicted killer confessed to police that she killed the victim in revenge for the girl sleeping with her boyfriend. 4 New York teens brutally beaten to death by MS-13 gang. MS-13 woman laughed as murder victim was stabbed 153 times, say prosecutors. Prosecutors said that she lured a man whom she mistakenly identified as a rival to a Maryland park for sex, where MS-13 were waiting to kill him. MS-13 gang leader murdered 14-year-old Texas boy with machete. MS-13 members charged with machete attacks in U.S. 3 MS-13 gang members living in Long Island town of Westbury have been charged with attempted murder following their alleged involvement with 2 machete attacks. Brothers Fidel Hernandez and Joe Hernandez, 23 and 26 respectively, along with Miguel Urias Arguenta, 18, are now facing murder charges following 2 separate attacks, including one which involved a 19-year-old male victim. MS-13 gang attempted to kidnap and murder a 16-year-old boy. Police in Suffolk County, New York, say they stopped MS-13's gang's attempt to kidnap and likely kill a 16-year-old boy. The attempt allegedly involved illegal aliens and so-called unaccompanied alien children, which could be a 16-year-old, somebody that's prepared to battle right now. But I digress. Plainclothes police from Long Island patrolling near Brentwood High School witnessed the gang attacking a 16-year-old boy and attempting to force him into a van. The New York Post reported officers moved in and arrested the MS-13 gang members and 2 affiliates. MS-13 orders murder of teen after Facebook photo post. Testimony revealed the gang drove him in the van to a deserted area on mountain roads in West Virginia, Breitbart, Texas reported. As the attack began, the gang leaders filmed the brutal beating and murder to send to MS-13 leaders in El Salvador. Vieira Gonzalez ordered 4 of his fellow MS-13 gang members to hold Hernandez down by his extremities. They all took a chance, one at a time, stabbing Carlos with a pocket knife. Vieira Gonzalez testified they stabbed him so many times you could see his intestines. So, I mean, are you convinced that MS-13 are indeed animals? I don't think the average person that's listening to the sound of my voice would really need that much convincing because, I mean, we pretty much know what gangs are all about, especially these violent gangs that come from Central America. It's pretty clear what's happening here. It's not about race. I couldn't care less what color these guys are. The fact is that they're dangerous, and people that live here that come from El Salvador, Nicaragua, Mexico, whatever, they know this. And if you notice, many of their victims that I was reading off here were Hispanic themselves. Probably they came from the same area in El Salvador or elsewhere that these fine young gentlemen come from. So if you are trying to look out for the best interests of the so-called minority of the immigrants, illegal immigrants or whatever, the innocent people that don't do crime, then why are you trying to protect guys like this? I mean, I really don't get it. A guy like that and his cohorts around him are not the guys you want to hitch your wagon up to and try to drag along in the media claiming victimhood and racism. It doesn't make any sense. So I'll just leave it at that. And what do you guys think? Do you think that I've been able to successfully prove that MS-13 are indeed animals? Did you need any proving? Do you think that the mainstream media, aside from being hypocritical and liars, are also just virtue signaling, maybe at the behest of their liberal Democrat masters who want many people that come from these third world countries to feel like Trump is the enemy, to make them feel like he's talking about them, when the reality is that he is not. It's not about just Hispanic people. It's about these illegal criminal people. I don't care where you come from. You can come from Russia, China, Honduras, El Salvador, Brazil, France, England, Nigeria, South Africa. I don't care where you come from. If you're here illegally and if you're a gangbanger on top of that, or either one of the two, you gotta go. It's very simple. And the people that need to be focused on the most when you're talking about deportation are obviously the very dangerous people that are going to kill whoever they see fit. So whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I gotta say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.